everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, The Greatest Beer Run Ever. So I'm really excited to see this movie for a lot of different reasons. One, beer, right? The story is about a childhood buddies, a bunch of them go off to Vietnam to fight in a war, you know, thank you for your service kind of stuff, and their friend, who I guess for some reason maybe wasn't drafted or whatever, decides to run them over American beer. And it's based on a true story, so I love that. I love movies about our soldiers. Zac Efron, love movies about Zac Efron, or him in them. Bill Murray, right? Russell Crowe, always reminds me of my uncle. Pretty excited about that. It is a 6.7 on IMDb. Only 2,011 people have rated it so far. So I saw this came out, and I was like, oh, this is going to be awesome. Can't wait. It's out in theaters, like, this week or something, and I'm like, oh, I can't wait until it's digital, you know, because sometimes I go to the movies, but I don't do my reviews. I do them obviously from here. And my buddy John calls me, and he's like, oh, you got to check out this movie. I'm like, yeah, you know, when it comes out, I will. He's like, it's on Apple TV. I'm like, you're crazy. So I am like, I wasn't expecting to watch this movie tonight, so there's a level of excitement that wouldn't be here normally, because I normally have to wait like 2-3 months for it to come out, but it's here right now. So, anyway, a lot of good things about this movie that I like, and I'm excited to see where it goes. 2 hours and 6 minutes, let's get into it, find out what it's about, give you a better idea. We'll let you know what I think. Stick around, I'll be back. Hey everybody, want to do a quick check-in here. We're watching The Greatest Beer Run Ever. We're at the 1 hour, 11 minute, and 15 second mark. So close. But over halfway, I almost stopped it at the 47 minute mark. I was laughing out loud. Like, it was that funny. Zac Efron he just cracks. He just did the role, that whole section right there. So when you see that, remember me, because it was funny. We'll be laughing together, because I thought that was great. And there's a lot of good humor in this movie so far. But it's very serious. So this is during the Vietnam War, where, you know, there was a lot of protests. And I always thought about that. Like, I wasn't, you know, I'm always for our military, our soldiers, everything like that. You know, they got drafted. It's not like they chose to go over there or whatever. But they're doing it for our country, for our freedom. And, you know, back in that day, that wasn't, you know, they weren't received well when they came back home. A lot of people protested, everything, so on and so forth. So there's that underlining tone of this entire movie. Meanwhile, Zac Efron's character, who lives in New York and goes to a bar where Bill Murray is the bartender, decides that he's going to take them all beer. No word of lie. He's a merchant marine, so he has the ability to get on a boat and get over there. But now he's going to go throughout Vietnam and try and deliver these beers. And it's all based on a true story. So while it has that very serious tone to it, it also brings a lot of the humor. But it changes quickly. That moment I talked about a couple minutes ago at the 47 minute mark-ish, where I was laughing hilariously at Zac Efron and his mannerisms and everything, turns serious in a matter of seconds. You know, it takes you from such a high really quickly down to a low, you know. And it does that a lot. I mean, that was a big one. There's a lot more roller coasters, not as many, but that's you get to the top and then boom, all the way go down there, there's a couple more. Anyway, you've been on a roller coaster. So that's where we are. Now that's a pretty big check-in, but a lot to share, and I was going to stop in before, I almost forgot to stop in now. Let me get back to it and see where it goes from here, but so far so good. Stick around. Hey everybody, we're at the credits of The Greatest Beer Run Ever, and I have to say, I agree. You know, I told you my friend called me and said you got to check this film out. Absolutely right. You got to check it out. It is great. The plot line seems unbelievable. Like, really? And then you watch it, and it's like, okay, this is based on a true story. Some of this had to happen. Of course, we're always left to wonder what did and what didn't happen. But like in all true stories, the ones that I like, they have the words at the end that tell you a little bit more, and then some pictures. So that was great. But I mean, you know, it starts off really more of a comedy, I would think. And I think I talked about this, but the range of emotions throughout the whole film. Now, I'll say the the final act, really, they don't go back to comedy. It is all drama, action, adventure. We don't see any more, big comedic moments, but it's very, like, I'll say, I don't know, revealing when you think about it. I mean, you think about, like I said, I wasn't around for Vietnam and what everybody went through about all of this, and this really kind of puts it out there on what Vietnam was about, what the soldiers thought about it, what the people back home, what their friends, all of that. So, it's very revealing, like I said, emotional, adventurous, of course, almost unrealistic, but and it was really well told. I think I like the way that they didn't, I mean, it has a lot to it. I like the aspect of friends and stuff like that, and they didn't try and throw in like a romance or something like that to they always throw those in, and they didn't do it here. And of course this movie is very, very patriotic. So Russell Crowe plays like I guess a journalist, or at least a photographer in Vietnam, and they connect a little bit. And Bill Murray, he owns the bar that he went to, so they weren't in it as much, smaller roles, but Zac Efron carries the entire movie. I think he does a fantastic job, as usual in this, because he's able to draw those emotions out of us. So, like I said, well told, well acted, and you love stories like this. Never even heard of this before, and it's great that they did. And I love the fact that it's already on digital. We don't even have to go to the movies. I'm surprised not many people have watched it yet. So my message to you is go check it out. If you like war movies, if you like Zac Efron, if you're a patriot like me, you'll enjoy this one. Definitely worth it. My only one recommendation on this is they show, so when him and Russell Crowe are together in Vietnam, Russell Crowe's taking pictures, right? And he takes a couple of pictures of Chicky, Zac Efron. And I would have liked the actual pictures to be at the end. There are, we see one at the end, but I would have liked to see the ones that he was taking of Chicky when they were together. Like, that would have set it off for me. I'm going to go with an 8 on it. With the pictures, it would have been a 9. So there you go, a little, maybe put that on the DVD release. People buy DVDs anymore? I don't know. Alright, that's it. Hopefully that was helpful. Thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub.